A lot of shots out here in this open country can be made at 50 to 60 yards. So you want to get good at that long range. Those long range shots, any little bit can move that arrow to the left or right, up and down. So you want to take as much practice as you can to take those long shots. So right here on the 50-yard line, I know I'm good. I'm probably going to shoot a few more just to make sure I'm in there. But like I said, at that 50-yard, that 60-yard, any little movement is going to affect that arrow a lot more than if you're gun hunting. Well, I know I'm shooting good here at the known distance range, so I'm going to go on the little walking trail and shoot at some other targets. Well, you just kind of walk this trail and you look for these PVC pipes or the little flags, and you can see the little targets off in the trees or off in the grass. So let's see how I do with this first target. A little more realistic training here. All right, I think I can hit something at this distance. So go ahead and pull my arrows out and move to the next animal. Javelina is next. Mr. Javelina. Got him. It looks like we got us a wild pig here. Shooting a bow is just like shooting anything else. You want to do the same thing every time, and I try to make sure I bring it back to the same anchor point every time. I align the bowstring up on my face the same every time. I hold my hand the same every time. I do the trigger release the same every time. And you could really tell when you do something different. That arrow does something that you don't expect it to do. So you want to be as consistent as possible, just like on the rifle range. So here we go, Mr. Pig. Got him. I'm gonna go ahead and shoot 3 arrows at this one because I like to practice at the long distance ranges, because those are always gonna be the toughest ones. That's another one. Pig down. Now here we see shooting at a wild boar target. It's pretty much shot out through the metal. So 2 of my arrows went right through. So I know they went through the kill zone there. And I got one in the kill zone still, a little far back, but I know these 2 arrows that went right through this kill zone that's all shot out. So I'm still shooting good, about 45 yards. If a pig comes out, he's done. So here we go, shooting at a nice far target, just for practice, shooting these long-range targets. That bear's a good ways away. I've got one pin set for about 55 yards, but I think he's a little bit further than that. So I'm probably gonna put the pin a little bit high, just hold it there and see what happens. It's all right, a little low and to the left. Nice thing about this range with some of these targets, you know, you get a little realism there. I'm here in the grass, long downhill shot at the critter. A little more realistic. There we go. So I came down here to check my shots on Mr. Yogi the bear. Got a couple good ones right here in the chest. This third one probably isn't the best shot, but that's why I'm out here on the range. It's important for you to come out to the range, and here on Camp Pendleton, we got a great range. There's little targets, big targets like this bear, and you know, all different distances at different terrain, and you can come out here and just test your skills. With the archery gear, you want to make sure you're dead on, so when you get that one chance to let an arrow fly, you make sure it counts. So come out here to the archery range and practice your skills. You have the known distance range that we started on, and then you have this great little trail that you can just walk through and test your skills, like I did here today. The archery range is located right off of Vandergrift Road, across from the Mechanized Museum. Now let's go ahead and get back into the hunt. All right, here we just found a perfect piece of terrain, an old dried creek bed, or just a washout or something like that. It allows me to get down below the grass. It's probably got about 3-foot high banks. So all I can do is just sneak right in this creek bed and try to make a big loop-de-loop right around these elk. Let's see if it works. Nice bull right there. Well within rifle range, easily. And I think our elk are right in here, right through this grass. And once again, as I'm in pursuit of another herd of elk, here comes old Big Boy Elk sneaking up behind me. This guy actually got within bow range. Getting closer and closer, but the wind is killing me right now. They're right up under that tree right there. Maybe 100 yards, but I've got a bad wind. I'm stuck right here right now. I'm trying to let them calm down, lay down. Here you see me knocking an arrow, as I think I'm getting close enough for a shot. After spotting these elk early in the morning, I thought I was finally going to close the deal. But the elk had another idea. There they go. Dang. Look at all of them. I got this close. There they go. I don't know what happened. They're right over this ridge. Ah, shoot. Another 75 yards, I would have been in there. It's 12 o'clock. I started my stalk at 8. So for 4 hours, crawled across the meadow, hands and knees, little belly crawling, came around this corner, tried to use some of the terrain features here, but I really don't know what set them off. I think just, the hunters being in here, they know weirdos with 2 legs like me are walking around here, so I can still see them. They're headed off across the meadow. Who knows, maybe I'll catch them this evening. I doubt it though. That was probably my one chance. While I was chasing elk all over the place, some people were getting lucky. How many points is that one?
He's 7 by 8. He'd be 8 by 8, but he broke this guy.
Is this about average or good average?
No, this one is a little bit smaller than some of the bigger bulls. So, not quite as fatty, but I'll keep him the same.
He'll do, right?
Oh, beauty.
So, after seeing these guys get their elk, do you think the Pendleton Sportsman was able to pull it off? All right, folks. It took me 4 weekends, but we did it. My first elk with a bow, my first elk ever, but it was an archery tag. It's a cow. I'm an East Coast guy, so this is my first time ever hunting elk. So excuse my excitement. Again, up here at Fort Hunter Liggett, doing my thing, doing the hunting thing. You gotta come up here and try it. What I was doing, I was sitting in like this old, looks like an old tank firing position. And I thought my hunt was busted. The elk had already gone into a no-hunt area. And I actually scared them out of the no-hunt area somehow. They saw me walking around, still in my area. They ran back over here. There was more than 30 elk in this herd. A couple of bulls, a whole bunch of cows. And when you got that many eyes and that many ears looking for something, it gets very difficult. I had 2 opportunities this morning. Hey, but it does not matter because we got an elk on the ground. My first elk, it's a cow, archery, about 50 yards shot, okay? So excuse the camera again. I had to come up here 3 weekends in a row with no cameraman, just good old Lieutenant Schufer trying to work the camera and the archery gear at the same time. Unfortunately, I did not get this one on tape. I decided to leave the camera in the car and just do the hunting thing. And if I got an elk, then we'd figure it out after that. So that's what we've done, folks. Got our first elk on the Pendleton Sportsman here, up here at Fort Hunter Liggett. Let's go check her out. But there she is. She probably only ran about 10 yards from where I shot her and went down. About a 50-yard shot right there. And you can see it's all open. I had to call them, just like calling turkeys. I called them out across this big meadow right here. And they all just came walking down here. I sat behind the berm until I got a glimpse of one of the bulls right here. I went ahead and drew back behind the berm, lifted my head, and there was a cow standing there. So that's where I shot. That's where she fell. Let's go down there. Okay, just found my arrow. Went right through her. I'm using carbon arrows, these new types of broadheads. I'm not going to advertise them though, because this is government television, so I'm not advertising anything here. But I'm using carbon arrows, 100 grain broadheads. Went right through her, all covered with blood. Good hit, obviously, because she's laying down another 20 yards from me. Shot her about 6:45. It's now about 7:30. There she is, my first elk. Tule Elk, only found in California. All right, there we go, folks. There's the shot placement right there. That's where I hit her. 50-yard shot, perfect broadside right in the ribs there. Tell you what, folks, this is how we do it here on the Pendleton Sportsman. You know, I just want to show everybody at home that there's a lot of things to do wherever you're stationed in the world. I've been coming up here 4 weekends in a row, and it took me the last weekend. Today's the closing weekend of the elk hunt. And sure enough, bam, Saturday evening, I get my elk. I can't think of a better way to wrap up the show, folks. Showing everybody at home that there's plenty of opportunities no matter where you're stationed in the world. Remember to take advantage of those opportunities and join us next time on the Pendleton Sportsman. And I got my work cut out for me, folks. Hey, we'll see you next time. Semper Fi.